say this though. We talk about how to make the All-Star game competitive again. Wemby has said that he's not here to make friends. He wants to win. Like he is here to win all these challenges. And also your playback is like a minute and a half ahead of my TV. So I'm actually not
Yeah, the chat always mentions that for
is
whatever reason
way
this
ahead
is
of
ahead.
my actual TV. But Wemby becoming the face of the league and taking All-Star Weekend so seriously, and if his reason behind cheating was I need to win, like Tony, I'm winning this. I don't care what I have to do. I'm winning this. Then I guess like okay, but I'm hoping tonight he comes out and plays like a jerk. Like he's trying to block shots. He's trying to be all 7'4", getting in passing lanes, playing real defense. Like I hope people hate him after tonight. But if they hate him for actually playing, that means next year guys will play harder to try and match that, so they don't get quote unquote embarrassed by Wemby again. So he actually has a chance, in my opinion, to save the All-Star Weekend. Not what he did in the Skills Challenge, but what he does on the court tonight can be the start of not a full-on revolution, but a change in thinking of how we should approach the All-Star game.
Yeah. I mean, he's the perfect guy to do it if anyone's going to do it because he's, 20, 21 years old? Like, he's the young star. Yeah. So if he sets the tone, maybe guys start to take it more serious. And part of the benefit of this format, I guess, again, just the idea of it is that since it is a lower score, you're only going to 40, you can lock in for a little bit more than, like a 48-minute game. Like you're never going to get the guys to buy into playing 48 minutes of basketball at this level. But maybe for like the final 20 points or something, I don't know. But I'm interested. Who do you think is going to win MVP tonight? I know it's a hard question because there's, it's the tournament format, but is Wemby a good pick, I would say?
Yeah, I like Wemby. I like Jaylen Brown. I actually love Donovan Mitchell in this setting too, by the way, because he is as competitive as anybody. He may not show it in some of the stuff he says verbally, but when you get a chance to hear him in the locker room and some of the stuff when in the biggest matchups, I know he's struggled against the Thunder. Lou Dort has his own voodoo doll on Donovan, but like
no Lou Dort in the All-Star game, thank God.
This is the kind of setting that can showcase what Donovan does best, and if Donovan gets hot, I can see his teammates just feeding him the ball. He's playing with Cat, Siakam, Jokic, and SGA. Like Jokic doesn't try in these settings, so he's not going to care about shots. SGA is going to get his. Siakam is the fifth option. Like Donovan's, if he's catching fire early, I can see Donovan certainly getting enough shots to win MVP here. But Jaylen Brown, if I had to bet on one player, it would be Jaylen Brown.
All right, well, here we go. Finally, it took 15 minutes, but here we go. These are the two Cavs teams. So Evan Mobley out there, Donovan Mitchell out there. Mobley's a guy who could end up winning it too. I know he's pretty competitive. And again, if he's just running the floor, getting a bunch of dunks, it could happen.
There it is.
There it is.
First points of the game.
Right on cue.
So how about a Donovan turnover leading to an Evan Mobley alley-oop? You don't usually hear that.
Is Donovan Mitchell setting it up for Evan Mobley? Is he going to throw to get Evan Mobley and Darius Garland farther than him?
So 2 possessions in, absolutely no intensity on defense. So the immediate return on will this format make them play harder thus far? Absolutely not.
Oh. Next time. As Demo says, next time they'll try harder. This year wasn't the year. No, I think I'd expect it always comes down to if it's a close game in the final, like 5-10 points. Then we'll see a little bit more energy. But right now, they're just kind of going through the motions.
Evan Mobley. Catch that, Evan. That's an assist. Give me that. Nope.
Oh, okay. Defense. There's a block.
Absolutely hate this court, by the way. I'm not sure if this was mentioned yesterday, but I
agree.
This is so ugly. Hurts my eyes. I am actually against almost all the colored courts like this, like the NBA Cup courts. I hated them. I hate this. I cannot believe that the NBA, which is a multi-billion-dollar global organization, does not have anyone in the organization to say, this is not a good idea. Guys, we can't think of anything better than this as Donovan gets blocked by Jaren Jackson Jr. Stop playing defense, Jaren. What are you doing? It's Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I agree with you about the court, though. I'm sick that the NBA Cup branding has bled in. Oh, Mitchell blocked again. But yeah, I hate the noisy dark blue, bright yellow. Like it just clashes. It's just not a good look. We need to change it up going forward.
I've never heard anyone ever say, "Hey, the regular court's ugly." Like,
Yeah.
who it's one of the things
Who
that
wanted this change?
just because you can does not mean you should.
Absolutely.
We've seen 4 potential alley-oops sail out of bounds. Um,
So
there's a nice 2
Jaren
strikes.
Jackson
Yeah,
Jr. is
he's really good,
trying to
man.
contest some shots, but Mobley, I'll take it. You know what? Hey, if anyone's going to get open dunks, let it be a Cavalier.
Hey, this is a chance for Evan to I don't think he's disrespected anymore, but there's still guys that don't know enough about Evan Mobley around the league.
Mhm.
And, it's an all-star game. He's only gonna get open no, Evan, take the 3. Kick it out, Jaren. Stop being a ball hog.
Oh, nice post hook. But yeah, I agree with you. This is a good opportunity for all the Cavs, but definitely Evan Mobley because he is the breakout player this year. This is something that I've been praying for. I used to pray for times like this where we'd get Evan Mobley in the All-Star game. And hey, one way or the other, he started today. I know he wasn't
Yeah.
technically a starter, but he ended up starting. Let's see what he's got here. Uh-oh. Oh,
Donovan
okay.
guarded Evan up top,
Yeah.
by the way. How about I saw Demo put this in the chat, but imagine in a real game a Mobley, Jaren Jackson Jr. defensive front court together as Donovan hits a 3 in Mobley's face and points at him and laughs on the way down.
Oh, here we go. Put him back in the blender though. Get him in the post. Let's see.
No, you can't. Don't kick that out.
He's not being aggressive enough.
Don't kick that out. Oh, good move. Gotta make it though.
Love to see Mobley and embrace the matchup there. But yeah, a Mobley Jaren Jackson Jr. combo would be nasty.
I mean, that's
Mitchell's coming out strong.
Flexibility, switchability.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero.
Hero off to a hot start.
He's a good player.
He broke my heart yesterday beating DG.
Yeah.
The starry ball merchant hit both of his starry balls for the 6 points. Unfortunate. Oh, okay. Rainbow.
Hey, Cat could play. Cat could really shoot the ball. Like legitimately, as good of a shooting big as I can remember. I mean, he's not Dirk, but since Dirk, he's right up there, and that's a legit 32-footer.
We've talked about this on the stream because I know there's like the controversy. I don't know who even said it. If Cat said it himself that he's the best shooting big man of all time.
He said it himself.
Look, I mean, I know Dirk is great. There's other great shooters, but he certainly has a case. He definitely has a case. I mean, especially just the pure volume. Yeah, the volume. It's like it's hard to deny. Oh, Mr. Beast is showing up.
Different eras. Like I would have loved to seen Dirk be able to shoot this many threes in the spacing era. So it's hard, but he shoots more at a higher percentage than almost anyone ever from the 7-foot category. And he's not a perfect player by any means. Like he has his own flaws, but he's really damn good, Tony. And the Knicks turning Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo into Karl Anthony Towns, despite messing up some of their depth, makes them a really dangerous team come playoff time because they can score with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, like you say, he's not a perfect player. He will be, targeted defensively, but the three-point shooting, he's done it his whole career. So already a deep three-pointer right there. Tyler Hero's cooking. Mikey, we're gonna rotate in our next guest here. We're about at the halfway point, so it kind of works out perfectly with the timeout break here. But thank you for jumping on, man. I would love to record either a pod or another playback stream sometime soon. It's always fun talking basketball with you. And if anyone here doesn't know Mikey McNuggets already, make sure you follow him on Twitter. Feel free to plug anything you want here right now.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Would love to come back and do a CAVS game. This actually is an incredible format. I would love to do this again. So let me know. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Lucas TV or find us on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tony, Jackson, I appreciate you all, and enjoy whatever this is for the next couple minutes. And I'll be back after White Lotus at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope White Lotus cooks tonight. I hope it's a good time.
Later, guys.
All right. Thanks, man. See ya. All right. So we're waiting on the next guest now. He should be coming in here soon. Send him a text real quick. All right. Yeah. Thanks again to Mikey. That was awesome. Worked out perfectly. We're trying to rotate guests in at, about the halfway point of each game, moving quick. So Here, give me 1 second. Bear with me as I get the next guy in here. He may be joining from his phone, so it could take a moment here, but he'll be in here any second. Yeah, so far it looks like every other All-Star game. Again, I think the main, I don't expect it to change. I think the only thing that we're looking forward to is if it's a close game within the 10-point range. Like it's a team gets to 30, 10 points to win. If it's close at that point, then we'll probably get some interesting possessions, but it's going to be a lot of run and gun, not much defense played. Maybe every once in a while we've seen a couple shots get blocked, so like maybe there's a hint of defense here and there, but all right, it looks like he may be here. Let's see. Yep. All right. Second guest of the night joining as we speak. It might take a second for his mic and everything to get adjusted, so bear with us, but any moment now, here he is. Second guest of the night, Quincy. Welcome in, man.
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Have you been watching any of this so far?
I just started watching this game a little bit.
Yeah.
I know Tyler Hero just smacked the nasty one. Somebody did something in retaliation.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler Hero, I think, already hit 2 threes. We're about halfway through this one. The games go up to 40 now. Weird format. I would love to get your thoughts on it. It's the tournament now. Games go up to 40. But I think we should have. I'm expecting Darius Garland to be on the court next. These are all 3 Cavs are in this game, and here he is, Darius and Evan Mobley and Mitchell out there playing defense.
Yeah, my hot take about All-Star games is that everybody complains about them being bad, and I'm like, none of them were ever good. Like there was never a single. Like you've had maybe 1 or 2 good All-Star games in every format that everybody goes, "Oh, it used to always be like this." I'm like, nah, man. All-Star games across the board. Everybody does this with the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl was never fucking good. I don't know where people thought it was ever good. It was never good. The NBA All-Star game, it was usually a mixed bag, right? Even All-Star baseball games, right? Where people are like, oh, it's the best one. I'm like, eh. Like, they're not really throwing stuff, right, in the fucking All-Star baseball game. So it's like batting practice. It's not really like a real game. So people do a lot of complaining, and these leagues do a lot of adjusting to these All-Star games to make it seem like they care or like want to listen to fans. But I'm just like, if you're gonna watch the All-Star game, you're gonna watch it. If you're not, you're not. Yeah. Like you're gonna be one of these people who complain on Twitter about it. No matter what the fuck they do, you're gonna complain about it.
That's what I've been saying is like it's just a celebration of the game. If you're looking to see like a high intensity, battle between 2 teams taking it serious, like you're not going to see that. But if you're just here to see a couple All-Stars throw down dunks or shoot deep 3-pointers, maybe if it's a close game down the stretch, it'll get a little intense. But like you got to know what you're getting yourself into. If you're expecting it to be a tense game, you're just setting yourself up to be upset.
And I always thought the fun of like All-Star weekends in general were like, not necessarily the games themselves, but the stuff that you could do, like the competition stuff before. And the one thing I will say, have you watched any of that Unrivaled 101 stuff, the tournament?
A couple of times. I've had it on in the background.
Yeah, that's been pretty good. I was like, if they could do something like that throughout All-Star Weekend, even if you can't get like the top players, that'd be fun. But like the actual game itself, it's always, because you got the best players in the game all together, no matter what sport it is. The objective is just going to be not to get hurt,
Yeah. I mean, there's no incentive for them to put anything on the line in these games. A 1-on-1 tournament or even like 3-on-3 could be interesting. But, Mitchell getting blocked right there.
There's Brunson, little layup, reverse. Dunk that shit, Evan.
Oh, we're on the back. I would love to see him dunk it, though. Just put Wemby on a poster. That's what we need.
Get your moment. That's what an All-Star game is about. Nobody's going to care if you had like a really efficient 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Just get out there, bang on somebody, pump your chest, and then that's it, dog. You got to do nothing else.
Just try something crazy. Throw an alley-oop off the backboard to yourself. Like, that's all people remember. And then that's why you get the conflated perception of like, oh, the All-Star game used to be fun. It's like, no, you just remember like the iconic Tracy McGrady lobbing it to himself, or like the close game with Jordan and Iverson. Like most of these All-Star games boil down to what we see every year. It's just no defense being played and a couple highlight reel moments.
And my big question, whenever I hear people complain about, like, okay, so the All-Star game wasn't that entertaining. So what?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like you really don't have to watch it if you don't want to. You're not really missing anything.
It's like, well, the dunk contest isn't great, brother. It's a Saturday night. I was not about to be in the house. Like, oh, was that Cat? No, that was definitely not Cat.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. You're watching on the phone, right?
Yeah.
We'll give you a pass for that. Wemby's looking a little into it right now. Oh, through a turnover though, but he had a dunk, a block, and an assist right there.
The first time All-Stars are always going to be way more into it than like it's like your first couple All-Star games and like your last couple All-Star games. You actually give a fuck. But like if this is like All-Star number 6 in like a 12 All-Star career, dude,
you're just coasting.
I'm making a couple threes, doing my thing, and then like, I'm getting fucked out.
Mobley.
All right. Yeah.
Let's go. He's a sleeper pick to win the MVP if they end up winning the tournament. I mean, he's already got, I feel like 8 or 10 points just off of like wide open dunks. Because again, no one's playing defense. So if anyone's going to score, he's only got 6, but they're all wide open dunks. So it's like just feed the big man, run the floor. Oh,
Shay with the
nasty right there.
Three. Like, how many players on each team?
I think 8. Oh, Wemby got him.
There we go, Wemby. Get your moment. Get your moment.
Yeah, I believe there's 8 players on each team, which that's the only big downside of this format is that whoever loses here is done for the night. So there's 8 All-Stars you're not going to see the rest of the night. So if you were here to watch Garland and Mobley and they lose, it's over. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Nice. DG throwing some lobs. He's a great player to have in this format. Just throwing lobs, dishing it out. Uh-oh, hustle.
I just need, like, you know what makes All-Star games better? You just need to pair up people with minutes that you're like, oh, no, you don't like that.
Like, yeah. Like, get Scotty Barnes out there.
Like, every Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. Yeah, he don't like him.
Yeah, that would be great. That's where the one-on-ones could be fun, is if you just found like some rivalries. Like imagine, I think I said this on the last stream, but like imagine it's 2016 and you get Kyrie and Steph going one-on-one on All-Star Weekend. Like the competitive nature is going to take over a little bit.
We need to get that Chet Wemby one-on-one.
That would be great. Yeah, I mean that would be
super tall. They both don't like that they get compared to each other.
That would be one of the most absurd one-on-ones we've ever seen. Just 2 7-foot-tall players who can do a little bit of everything. That would be nuts.
Jimmy Butler would be fun in a one-on-one just because he'll just like fight everybody.
Put him against anybody. He'll get into it.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler would get into it, right? Like I think that's also a fun thing you get to see is like because I think Aaliyah Edwards went super far in their one-on-one tournament. She was a rookie last year, and that was like surprising. And it's like, okay, she might carry that confidence on into like the regular season now. Where it's like, she just went one-on-one with like some of the best players in the W. So she's gonna feel like she got an ISO game that she can rely on.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stuff was up.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, how do you feel about the Rockers coming back to Cleveland? It sounds like. Seems like I don't know if you saw that report today. It seems like you're gonna be getting a WNBA team.
I saw it. I'm excited for Cleveland getting a WNBA team. I'm already locked in with the Dream. So
okay, you already got your team.
Yeah, I got excited about them making the playoffs. I'm already in. Like once you get excited about getting the 8 seed and you about to lose, you locked in. But I'm excited for people in Cleveland to be able to enjoy it. It's a fun league. If you come in there with just regular expectations, you have a good time there. But it's always good when Cleveland gets more sports, more things to do. I'm super excited about that for Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm excited, man, because I've tuned into the WNBA over the last few years, and the games are always fun. Like you said, when you go in, not looking to be a dickhead or anything, you're just watching some basketball, and it's fun. But for me, like I need a team to root for, and I haven't found that yet. But if there's a team coming to Cleveland, there we go. I'm going to be a full-on WNBA sicko now. I'm going to be fully locked in to the Rockers, and I love the team branding too. If they go back to that. I feel like they had great jerseys, the team name, everything. I'm excited.
I wonder if they're gonna go to because they left when the Cavs are still doing those white and grays and blues. I wonder if they're gonna stick with that, or they're gonna go with where the Cavs go with
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think what is it, 2028? I think is when they would finally be here. So we still got a ways to go, I believe, but still, it's exciting.
It's gonna be super exciting. Who knows?
And they're trying to do anything to fill time right now. How do we extend this to a 2.5 hour event? I've never seen a halftime show in between a timeout.
You watch League Pass and you'll notice they do this kind of shit during quarter breaks, and it's like they go, all right, the League Pass All Stars. Like I'm expecting the guy who paints Martin Luther King for the Cavs to come out.
That guy's good. That guy's good.
Yeah, it always bangs. It always bangs. And I'm always like, he's not going to make it in time. But he does. And that's the joy of watching the League Pass. Because you get to see what kind of entertainment people put out there. It is 9 times out of 10, you get basketball bingo, right? Or basketball tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, the tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, but sometimes you get the Cavs come out there, the dude just randomly comes out, paints Martin Luther King in 2 minutes. Yeah. You're like, wow. That was cool.
The Cavs do a great job with the in-arena entertainment because we've been doing these streams and they're all the League Pass streams. So when we check in on other teams, some arenas, I think in New Orleans is the one that's the most dead consistently. We tune into those. We're like, man, they're not doing anything to get the crowd into it. But the Cavs, every time out, there's something crazy happening. So they do a real good job with the in-arena entertainment.
I think they were pioneers with some of the stuff with Loudville, because you see other teams now doing their version of Loudville and stuff. They've been ahead of the game for a while there, what they do with the Q. Shout out to the Cavs street team.
Yeah, they got also the 216 sticks. They come out there with the garbage can drums. They do all sorts of stuff, man. Red Panda, someone mentioned in the chat. I think she performed yesterday or during the Rising Stars games. They already had the GOAT out there. I don't know if she's doing back-to-backs at this point in her career.
Oh, yeah, the magician. Somebody brought up the magician. Yeah, that guy's good.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen the guy who plays
Simon
Says, but I've never seen the magician.
The Hawks will have somebody rap in a quarter break.
Oh my God.
I've seen it. I'm like, oh, wow. Is that Trae Young? Yep.
All right, 8 points to victory here for the red team, Team Chuck.
Which team had LeBron?
I don't know who the coach is, but it was the OG team. They're going to be playing the Rising Stars next, so I'm interested to see what happens there. I feel like I mentioned this right at the start of the stream, but I feel like they did that to try and motivate the older guys. You don't want to let the young guys beat you. But it could also backfire where they're like, the young guys are taking this too serious. We're just going to let them have it. So I'm interested to see what that game looks like. And LeBron already is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not getting injured.
They needed to put Chris Paul in. That at least make sure the OGs don't lose. Hey, he's going to play hard no matter what.
Yeah. What did you think of? Did you see Wembanyama and Chris Paul in the skills challenge? We're getting everyone's
where they just launched their skill. I was like, I wonder what the rule is. It do you have to hit the rim at least once?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Because really,
or is it a shooting motion thing?
Yeah, if they just modified that a little bit, they probably could have got away with it. They were just too shameless with it.
Yeah, they were just dog, you're cheating.
Yeah. put in 20% more effort. Whoa,
they made it feel objectively cheating. It was why they get eliminated? Because they was cheating.
Everyone watching knew that some rule was being broken. We didn't even know the rule book, where we're like, that can't be legal. That can't be allowed.
PG with the steal.
Yeah, let's see that. Can they get a comeback? Need it.
3.
Oh, could be a short night for DG and Evan if they aren't able to pull this out. Only 4 more points. That could hurt.
Oh, it's about to be over.
Yeah.
Oh,
we still got
that was nasty.
We still got Donovan Mitchell on the red team, so we'll get some Cavs represented.
Oh my God, Jalen Brunson is selling.
This could be the last possession for them.
Clutch Darius.
All right. DG, clutch player of the year. Let's see it.
Full court press.
Yep.
On Jared Jackson.
If there's going to be any defense played, it would be right now.
I was like, Trae Young, you are not about to set a screen. No rotation.
And they let him go.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody rotated. Who was down there? Who was down there? Was it Evan in there? Evan was not in there.
No. I don't know who was. It was Hero, Brunson, Cade. I can't tell who else was there. They're not going to show the replay. Yeah, they just let him go.
My TV feed's like a whole minute behind, so I'm going to be able to see.
Mm.
But that possession right there was exactly why the Cavs traded for DeAndre. Right? Big on the perimeter.
It's all guards back there.
Tyler Hero's playing power forward.
Yeah. Like Tyler Hero's not rotating to make that block.
And Tyler Hero was not about to take that charge, right?
Yeah, he's letting that one go.
Option.
Oh man, yeah. That All-Star team, they need a wing. They need a wing, just like the Cavs did. But Quincy, thanks for joining, man. That was fun. At least we got to see some dunks and stuff. And yeah, man, we'll have to record another pod or get you on another playback stream soon because it's always great.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for taking the time out, man. See ya. All right, first game over. 2 Cavaliers have been lost. It's okay. We still got Donovan Mitchell. He's advancing to the finals. It's possible that he could win MVP. He didn't play bad in that first game, so it's possible. But I feel like Wemby's the one guy who I think is playing the hardest right now. I don't know how much he finished with in that game, but he had a couple blocks, a couple dunks. He's actually playing with a little bit of energy, so I kind of think that, well, he played the hardest. I didn't say he played hard, but comparatively, I feel like Wemby was probably the one taking it the most serious. So I think he's a solid pick for MVP, but you never know what could happen in this next game, especially the Rising Stars. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of the Rising Stars take it seriously and play even harder. But I'm not expecting anyone to go all out, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Here, give me a second here, guys. I'm going to work on getting my my next guest in here and set up. But Cavs LQ, happy birthday. Let's go. 216 day is your birthday. That's a pretty good flex right there, man. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. Give me a second here. Going to message our next guest and make sure he's ready to go. All right, we get another. I wonder how long the break between games is going to be. The next game was scheduled for 9:10, and so we'll see how long it actually takes them to get out there. No complaints here, though. Overall, I'm honestly having a good time. The 2 guests we've had have been great already. We got great guests coming up. The basketball itself, listen, it's not very competitive, but we had some blocks, some dunks, and here he is. Let me get you in here. Let me send you an invite to join. Zach NBA. We're going to get you on here. If everyone, hold on. All right, I should invite him to the stage. Everyone, make sure you check out Zach. We'll let him get his plugs and everything, but his new podcast started about a month ago. It's great stuff, man. So we'll be here any moment. But yeah, it's sad to see our boy Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. But here's Zach. We have Zach.
Tony!
Welcome in, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing great. Did you manage to catch that first game at all?
Yeah, I was set up right now. My child is being lazy, and so she's literally laying on the couch across my lap while I'm holding her tablet with YouTube videos going on with some stupid viral thing about like try not to say wow or whatever while I'm watching the TV over top of it, trying to have them give me something to actually say wow to. So yeah. we were on separate missions today.
He wasn't watching a Mr. Beast video. I guess Mr. Beast is doing whatever. Someone's going to take a shot for $100,000. It looks like. I don't know. I had no idea this was happening.
How staged is this?
No idea. But yeah, Zach, man, welcome in. How do you feel? We lost 2 Cavaliers, but 1 advances. Is it worth the trade? Donovan Mitchell going to the championship round?
Sort of, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like at least there will be representation of the Cavs. And so we could have gone either way, I guess. I was getting excited there for a minute. I thought Evan Mobley was just going to be the benefit of every lob ever.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
So I guess that could have been good. I don't understand what's happening. I
think it's a shoot off. Who makes a logo 3 first for $100,000? Your game this cold blooded. Oh, I thought he ended it right away. Oh, Dame has to hit 3. Before this guy hits 1, I think. All right, that evens it up just a little bit. I have no idea what this guy is working with. I guess we'll see.
The most confident haircut ever is what he's working with.
Not a bad looking jumper.
No.
This could be a good show. But I would have rather had DG and Mobley advance. Oh, they made one. But Donovan, who knows? Maybe he gets hot in the second game, the championship game, and walks away with the MVP. But to me, it seemed like Victor Wembanyama is the one who really wants it. He seemed like he was playing the hardest out of everybody.
Yeah, but I feel like Mitchell is going to toe the line between being entertaining and also actually trying to put orange ball in orange hole in a way that not everybody out there is going to do. There were a couple of dudes on a couple on a couple possessions on and I can't keep the name straight of these stupid teams, but on the Garland Mobley side where they were like, I've been happy to see that they've played some semblance of defense, but at the same time, the hot potato that they were doing was getting kind of annoying. I'm like, you are standing under the bucket. Put ball in bucket.
Mobley especially. There's a couple plays where I'm like, just go up, dunk it. Just try to dunk. It doesn't he had Donovan Mitchell in the post early on in that matchup, and he passed out of it. I'm like, Mobley, now is not the time to be passive. Now is not the time to be rookie Evan Mobley.
And I loved it too because Donovan was wanting that matchup. He forced that switch. He's like, no, Cat, you stay out there. Give me. He wanted to do a little one-on-one friendly, friendly match, and Mobley wasn't having it. He gave it up immediately.
Those are the moments we're all waiting for. Is the friendly matchups or even the rivalries. So unfortunately. Mobley, the lights were too bright. I don't know what happened there, but at least Donovan Mitchell is going to advance, and looks like this guy he might be down to his last shot because Dame is putting the fire to him.
I feel like this kid needs to take a running start. He needs to do the runner.
There's no shame in chucking it up there. The heave. There's nothing to be ashamed of. All right, is it over?
Oh, can we get a Can we get a celebrity shot? Somebody come in here.
I think it's not Shaq for sure. Shaq is the one next to him. Maybe Kenny. I don't know if he still got it from that distance, but
not even maybe.
It has to be rough. Usually, if you're taking the big shot for money, it's like one shot from half court. This kid's just been out here throwing bricks for 10 minutes. Feel bad.
Yeah,
Like if you don't walk away with the money, you're gonna be so sick that you had a million chances and couldn't connect.
Oh, he did it.
Finally.
He finally hit it.
Man, it took forever, but he finally got it. He's got Sir
14
CC
minutes
with
later.
him. All the mascots out there.
This is
nice.
This is what my dad wants the skills challenge to be. Make them actually make the shots so that you got somebody out there just chucking for 14 attempts.
Yeah. And look, if people are upset about the Wemby Chris Paul thing, easy rule change. You got to make the shot before you advance. Just do it that way. I know they don't want the skills challenge to take too long, but look, they're NBA players, so they should be able to make it relatively quickly, even if it's an extra 30 seconds. Like, I expect any NBA player to be able to make a free throw uncontested. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that would be a fun rule change. But
good. It's a hot tub full too.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is this the most? They're all ones.
Are they? Oh yeah.
You're bathing in Washington's. Well done. It's still a lot of ones.
Good for him. Can we get the next matchup? It's going to be the Rising Stars versus the OGs. No LeBron. LeBron dropped out last second, as I'm sure you saw. Do you have any predictions for what we're going to see here? Do you think the OGs are going to come out too relaxed and not really care, or or is their pride too much to let the Rising Stars beat them?
I think the first one was fairly competitive enough that they won't want to get embarrassed by the kids, but also I could very much see them coming out and being like too cool about it. Cause this is if it was LeBron and he was actually out there, I would actually feel like they might compete a little bit, because I feel like LeBron was a part of some of like the last All-Star games that actually were fairly competitive. And then there was that kind of gap between him and this new wave of stars that could not care at all about these latest All-Star games. So I feel like it can kind of go either way. I feel like somebody like KD is, perfectly fine with not trying at all. Steph is perfectly fine with not trying at all. Like they're just going to be what's the over under on Steph actually like laying down?
I think we
when he's
lost
supposed to be playing defense.
Over under.
Yeah, Steph laying down.
I heard over under. Steph laying down.
Yeah.
Oh man. Honestly, Steph, I don't expect Steph to take it too serious. Maybe because it's in San Francisco, but the thing that I fear, you said like you don't want them to get embarrassed. The thing that I fear is that the Rising Stars come out, they're playing with a little extra effort, and it's an early 12-point deficit, and the OGs are like, yeah, it's over. We'll take the rest of the night off. So I could see, listen, Amen Thompson got added to this Rising Stars team. He wasn't originally on the team that won, but they added him because they had an open roster spot. I could see that dude running. It's like it's a track meet, just running up and down the floor, and the OGs don't want to keep up with him. So I guess we'll have to see. But hopefully we just get a competitive game, because I think there could be a lot of fun there with the OGs looking to defend their pride, or however you want to frame it.
Yeah, I think the kids at least are going to try, because they weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be a good catalyst for it. I thought that Amen Thompson was going to kind of, I think I even tweeted it at the time. Like when that game was getting ready to start, was Amen Thompson just going to pull like this guy's too good for summer league? It felt like he was just like the best guy on the floor. Yeah. And it very much did not happen. So I don't know. I understand they had to replace somebody, I guess, but taking anybody from the team that lost to the G League, I feel like there should have been a penalty for that.
Yeah, I feel like it should have had to be. It would have had to been from like a runner-up team, but you know what? I do love Amen Thompson, so I'm glad to have him on here. And it looks like we got Carter making his appearance.
Carter!
We're gonna bring him on real quick. And then I'm going to have to rotate guests so that it's not too big of a stage. But we'll bring Carter on real quick. And then once the game starts, Zach, we'll rotate in our next guest. But thank you for taking the time out, man. And we'll get Carter on here real quick. We'll have
Yeah,
the three
man.
of
Thanks
us.
for
Any
letting
more
me
than
come
three
hang
gets crowded. Carter making the surprise appearance. We weren't 100% sure. He's a full grown adult with kids. Unlike well, you also have kids. I'm the child here. I'm the kid myself. So I wasn't 100% sure if we'd be able to have him.
Whoa.
But Carter, welcome in, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Thank you for joining. How are you doing?
Doing good. I just got back from dinner with NBA Twitter Dan Bailey, who also is the drummer for Father John Misty, diehard Lakers fan, who's they're doing a show in Columbus. So we went and got dinner.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds great. This is Zach NBA. He does the Cavs podcast for Sports Ethos. I don't know if you guys have ever met or officially
We
done
haven't
anything
met,
together.
but I have seen some clips here and there. Nice to meet you, Zach.
We have not. I had Justin. I have not gotten Carter yet.
I'm an exponential degree a harder get because of my stupid children that I love very much.
I'm familiar, but I won't tell them that you said so.
No, I love them.
I'm freezing.
And yeah, it just makes it challenging
Oh,
to
no,
your schedule.
I totally get it. Totally get it. I'm hiding from my responsibilities at this very moment. Tony was like, you really should stop spending time with your family and come spend time with ours. And I was like, you know what? That is an invitation I feel like I have to accept.
That's very
I'm a bad
fair.
influence, I'm pulling you guys away to entertain your real family, the family of Cavs Twitter and Cavs Playback.
Listen, my babies are sleeping.
Thank you guys.
My babies are sleeping and my wife's on a call. So
there you go. Perfect.
The stars aligned perfectly, except that Darius and Evan are already out of the event.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Unfortunately, two of our Cavs are already gone. How did you feel about that opening game? I know Evan Mobley for a second, it felt like maybe it was going to be the Mobley takeover. He had a couple lobs to start off the game, and then it was all downhill from there. How did you feel about that opening game?
Well, as I noted, I was at dinner. So
oh yeah, my bad.
I wasn't watching terribly
over my
closely
head.
on my 20-minute commute home. My initial take is 40 is too low of a target score if we're only getting 3 of these.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
This is going to be an hour and a half event. Excepting the very strange Mr. Beast activity.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're finding plenty of ways to kill time. We've seen all sorts of in-arena entertainment, but I guess let me pivot and ask you a different question then, because you didn't get to catch much of the first game. How does it feel just having 3 All-Stars? The fact that I can even complain about, we already lost 2 of them, but we still have 1 at least. Like how great is it to see the Cavs after what was such a stressful year last year? It was a lot of fun, but lots of stress, lots of questions about Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell's commitment to the team. And now here we are a year later. We got 3 All-Stars. The vibes have never been better. We're tied for the best record in the NBA. How does it feel, man?
It feels great. The team's awesome. And it's always a challenge. I thought I was post external validation, after the title. And I really did think I was better than worrying about whether we got All-Stars or not. But as the announcements were getting closer, I was starting to really want to see it. I because so much of our time, our experience as fans is so insular, where we are in our Cavs community first and foremost. And then, we interact with the rest of the NBA on the kind of on the side. And the result, you do just wonder, is your brain tricking itself? Are we this legit? Are we as good as I think we are? So when you have the entire league agree, collectively, yeah, they've got 3 All-Stars and maybe they should have 4. There's something, I don't know. It kind of keeps you, it keeps me from feeling like I've gone off the rails with my own excitement about the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, same here. That's how I felt. It's easy to get carried away, but seeing, at first I was worried. I was like, maybe we'll only get 1. Am I being greedy? We got 3 pretty stress-free, so that was great. Zach, I got our next guest waiting, but I want to get your take on 2 things. 1, same thing I just asked Carter. How does it feel just to have 3 All-Stars? And 2, if you saw, Cleveland getting a WNBA team, it seems like. Can we get your quick rapid fire takes on that?
Yeah, so 3 All-Stars I was stoked about. I actually just did, not to do the whole self-promotion thing, but this is relevant to the conversation I was having with McNuggets on the pod a few days ago. And I actually made it my like moment of the year pre-All-Star was getting the 3 All-Stars because it was in particular, and I believe we talked about it actually when you were on, was like Evan Mobley was kind of like having a moment, and then that just kind of kept snowballing. And it was cool to see that as the Cavs were getting some recognition on the national media stage and getting a little bit of love in that way, you started seeing the Cavs like climbing up the fan votes, and then just having having the coaches seemingly easily grab Mobley and Garland off of there, and that the fans were actually the lowest on all of them, yet they climbed. So it made me feel good on behalf of them because they're the ones actually doing the thing, and it shouldn't have any bearing on me, but it still did because, such is fandom. As far as the WNBA team, I am 1, stoked, and 2, also conflicted because I have adopted the Fever as my WNBA team since they drafted Kelsey Mitchell out of Ohio State, who I'm a fan of, and have been following them forever. Obviously, I say obviously, I wasn't following them crazy close, but there's been obvious reason to follow them much closer now that Caitlin Clark is in town over there. So I'm going to have to figure out by 2028, am I going to continue rooting for the Fever, or am I going to like change allegiances to keep a Cavs and Rockers alignment, or am I just going to start podding about the WNBA? I just don't know. We have 3 years to figure it out, but I'm happy. I'm stoked about it.
We got plenty of time, thankfully. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I've been looking for my team, so I can't wait. But Zach, thank you for taking the time out, man. Thanks
for letting me hang
out. Don't feel worried about getting the plugs. Do the self promo here real quick.
Sure. So the podcast is the Sports Ethos Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. It's literally what it's named. So it's the easiest to find in all of the pod players we can possibly make it to find. The handle on the internet places, X and Blue Sky, is at Ethos Cavs. And myself, I am Zach something NBA across all of the things. It's either a hyphen or an underscore or a dot, depending on what platform allows what. But it's if you put Zach with a C and NBA next to each other, you're probably gonna find my little avatar guy and all my takes.
Awesome. Yeah, listen, guys, Zach is great. The new pod is great. Make sure you follow him, check him out, subscribe. He's doing great stuff over there. So thanks again, man. And we'll have you back on soon, and we'll get a pod recorded hopefully over the All-Star weekend too.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, y'all.
All right, see you, man.
Brother,
all right,
Kevin
we have
Hart
another guest
so
who's about to join in just a moment, but I wanted to give Carter a chance to have the stage to himself. So we'll get you real quick here. We already talked a little bit about the Cavs having 3 All-Stars and how great that's been. This game, no Cavs represented, but it's a wonky, kind of almost gimmicky format. But I'm personally someone who just says, let people enjoy things. Carter, what's your take on this weird format and the OGs versus the rising stars? There's been some controversy today about it.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say I am also super geeked about the Cleveland Rockers coming back. I'm a girl dad, man, and watching my daughter gives so much more of a shit when she's watching when I have a WNBA game on than when I have the Cavs on. So just so excited to have something to share like that with her, and I'm super geeked about it. Second take, Kevin Hart is so small. It's stunning. He's smart. He's small crazy compared to Ernie. All right. And then to actually answer your question, I think if anything, it has the best chance of actually getting the guys to play really hard. Because these dudes do not want to lose to the Rising Stars team.
I hope
there's got to be something there, and the Rising Stars team. I kind of feel like it's like a U.S. Olympic team versus select team in a scrimmage,
Yeah.
where it's like,
exactly.
like select team wants to get the big dogs off their ledge. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's fun.
Yeah, I can see it going a handful of ways. There's the competitive side, and then there's also just maybe the OGs come out and crush them, or maybe the OGs don't take it serious enough, and the young guys run all over them.
Yeah, and I think both are like fun and interesting, and like as I am way less worried about what people think because I don't think All-Star games are meant to be that sweaty or like really inherently meant to be that competitive. So like, I've just always been on team. If I'm not having fun, I'm just gonna turn it off.
Yeah,
I got plenty of things to do.
Easy
and
enough.
I'm not gonna get like I'm at the point in my life where I'm not getting worked up about anything that's not fun for me. I'm just gonna not participate. If I'm playing a game and the lobby's going poorly, I'm all F4 in that thing, baby. Close it out.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not worth getting worked up at this age,
I only have I turned my favorite hobby into a side hustle now, so like with the Cavs and the podcast, like I got, a cool 60 hours a week of job. I'm not going to be pissed off during my leisure time.
Exactly, man. You can't stress yourself out over the little things. But you know what I realized? I was so busy introducing you to Zach. This is the first time you and me have ever talked on stream.
Crazy.
I'm pretty sure.
That's not true.
I'm pretty sure. I think it is. It's wild.
Wow.
It's crazy,
that is
man.
wild.
It's nice to informally meet you.
I felt like I knew you already. By the way, I must say, your YouTube content is really good. You do a great job.
You, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you and Justin do great with the chase down, man. The first podcast I ever did, literally ever, was Justin invited me on the chase down. So that was a really great experience, opportunity. Immediately felt welcomed by all the Cavs guys. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, man, it's great to finally, get to talk to you not really face to face, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I've been so distant. I guess I'll take the L on this one because you're way more involved than I am.
It's all good, man.
The unsaid comment with the YouTube compliment is that I was going to sneak in was, it's clear how much harder you're working at the video than we are.
No, man. I had to pry you away from your family to get you in here. I'm the bad influence. That's all.
No, you're great, man. You guys are doing great work on all the platforms that you do stuff. Hey, they're guarding a little bit. This isn't horrible. A little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get our second guest in here. Carter, you're welcome to stay as long or as little as you'd like. I wanted to make sure you had at least a moment of just you on the stage. It gets a little busy, but our next guest is waiting.
I couldn't be less pressed. I'll leave whenever I, get called away. Well, unless you want to get rid of me, which,
yeah, maybe. Too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to bring our next guest on just so he's not waiting anymore. But then I want to ask you at least one more question. But let's introduce our next guest because I tried to have it, rotate in with the guest, but the stream started late, and then we're working through it. Bear with me, everyone. But thank you for taking the time to do this, like I said. And our next guest should be on stage any moment. I just accepted his request. Maybe I surprised him. I probably should have messaged him first, letting him know I was going to accept his request. Here he is. Might take him a second with his mic. Playback sometimes takes a moment. Here we go. Our next guest, Luca of Real Cavs Fans. I don't know if you have officially met Carter either. It's just a a reunion here, a get together. All the Cavs guests just meeting each other. I don't know if you guys have ever met, but
we haven't. Nice to meet you, Luca.
You too, sir. I think there's one thing we haven't got in common. It's good taste in artwork, as you can see.
You don't like my wall? The chat loves my wall. Just the blank, minimalist blue wall.
We'll get you there, Tony.
If there's a jersey of sadness, it's the wall of sadness for Cavs fandom.
It's true. Yeah, but welcome in, Luca. This is fun. This is the first time we've had you on the Playback stream, so I was really looking forward to it. Thank you for bearing with me. By the way, I know you were waiting for a couple minutes there. Doing my best to rotate the guests. I'm very thankful to Carter, Luca, literally every guest that's been on for you guys taking the time out. How's your night going? Have you been watching the game so far? What'd you think?
Unfortunately I don't have a humble brag to bring on as far as who I was out to dinner with. So all I can share is I was shoveling snow and watching the All-Star game like a humble blue collar worker that I am.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Shots fired right away.
No, as long as we got out happy and healthy and everyone had fun, like Carter was chiming in on about everyone having fun, that's all I'm concerned about. As much as I hate to see our Cavs not advancing, as long as there's less opportunities for them to get injured, and as I know, Justin was lamenting about no faces for Darius Garland, I'm a happy person.
Oh yeah, no strikes to the face for Darius. That's always nice. You get basically a whole week of him not getting hit in the face as long as nothing off the court is happening that we're unaware of. So that's great. Get him healthy down the stretch here. That's always big. And already, as Carter was saying, it's already 15 points. This game just started. They're already almost halfway to the end.
Too
It's too fast. I agree. We've been asking everyone. So, Luca, what's your take on this new format? Is it a gimmick? Is it, do you think it's going to work? What are your thoughts?
I do have to side with Carter in the aspect of bringing in the rising stars. I think adds competitiveness to this. The one thing more than anything else is no matter how much money you're going to offer these guys or flash in their face, it's going to be hard to get them to compete. But pride is the one thing. If you can get them feeling prideful or challenging their pride, I think that's the one thing you're going to get them to compete. And so bringing in some, rising stars who some of these old guys don't want to lose to, I think that's what hopefully will drive the competitiveness for this game. But at any point, I can appreciate Adam Silver saying that the All-Star game is not working. What else can we try? I don't know if I'm much of a fan of the Mr. Beast and Kevin Hart stuff. I think we need Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg like the Olympics, so that might get me interested. But I can appreciate him trying to bring in a younger audience, a younger generation to kind of supplement maybe some of the older generation that maybe have left and gone elsewhere. But hey, as long as it's working, as long as it's fun, all for it.
Yeah, that's usually my approach. I think I've said it already on the stream, but I just try to let people enjoy things. And as Carter said, if it's not working for me, then I'll just watch something else, or I'm not gonna get worked up over it. And I appreciate Adam Silver trying everything he can, even if it might not work. We'll see. So far, the first game was all right. The All-Star game, we know what it is at this point. You're not gonna get much effort. You might get a couple moments here or there, but there's no point in stressing over it. I do want to ask the question to both of you because it's been, try to, bring this back to the Cavs corner for a second. It's been such an incredible season. I feel like everything that you could have wanted to happen for the Cavs this year has basically happened. So I'm going to ask you guys a tough question. What has been your favorite moment of this season so far? What's the one single thing that you are like, yes, I can't believe this happened. This is so awesome. I love it. Carter, I'll let you start.
I just think it's the Darius resurgence. Like, I think seeing him come back to form, like, kind of crystallized for me that, like, oh yeah, this is my favorite player on the team by like a lot, And like, I think I was like almost maybe doing a little emotional distancing last year because it was just so rough. But like, basketball is such a artistic game, and like Darius's style of play speaks to me more than anyone else on the team. So it's like, I think that it's just got to be his general resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, the things got so bad last year. Even me, one of the biggest DG defenders, it got to the point where you're like, yeah, you know what? He kind of sucks right now. I think he'll be better in the future, but I can't really hide the fact that he's having a really rough season. And so the fact that he's bounced back, and I talked to Justin yesterday on the Playback stream, and we said the same thing, like, all the issues that we had last year, whether it's for health or whatever reason that he was struggling, he's basically righted every wrong from last year. Like the finishing, he's doing it at a career best rate. 3-point shooting, he's as aggressive as ever. The confidence, the clutch. I can't believe he's like, if you told me last year that Darius Garland a year from now would be the best clutch player in the NBA statistically, I would be like, no way. He looked so rattled at the end of games sometimes. And now there's moments where I trust him more than Donovan Mitchell. There's a lot of moments where I'm like, yeah, I want DG operating down the stretch.
I think he's been the best player on the team this year.
I think you could argue that. I still think Mitchell is the best player. It gets a little, nitpicky there with or semantics rather, but like, I mean, he has been the engine to a lot of their success. So he's been so great. The confidence returning so quickly. The joy is back, as DG said. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Luca, what has been your favorite moment of the season?
I have to say, for any of the aggregators watching, please clip that Carter saying DG's been the best Cavs player, and let's make it go wild. I don't know if it's a moment. I think it's more so that we can end the Jared Allen, Evan Mobley trade scenarios, as well as the Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell trade scenarios, kind of going off that resurgence. I think being able just to holistically enjoy this team is instead of trying to figure out how we're going to parse it apart and make things move forward. I think just being able to have that now and moving forward has been kind of the best part. And, Terry Pluto wrote an article over the weekend and kind of talking about, well, typically coaches take 6 to 8 weeks to really adjust. And with Kenny, it was 6 to 8 minutes. Just how quickly this team really latched on to what he was preaching. In training camp, we didn't have to worry about when are we going to see the bigs at the elbow. Right away, we saw that. It was integrated. They were playing off that. So I think just being able to enjoy the team, not have to worry about what's next, the player option, is Diamond going to move on? Are we going to be whole? I think just being able to enjoy a happy, healthy vibe in Cavs team has been the best thing holistically.
Absolutely, man. I mean, and you mentioned it right.
Kenny arguing that out of bounds call, by the way.
Can you challenge a play in this? Does anyone know? Because he's one of the best in the NBA with the.
I'm not sure. Adam Silver knows.
Yeah, they might have to bring the printed out rule book that they used with Wemby and Chris Paul to figure that one out. But yeah, Kenny killing it with the challenges this year. Underrated aspect. Just really got a great eye for that. Great guys behind the bench, I guess. Really, you got to give them the credit there. But as Luca was saying, being able to put to bed the Mobley Allen discourse, you can't, too big. It's never going to work offensively. All the spacing issues we heard about for 2-3 years. They're the number one offense in the NBA. It's like you can't have a better counter to that now. Just like, yeah, I think it works actually to have two guys who are just amazing around the rim and elevate your defense so much. And, the Evan Mobley breakout year is obviously another moment or a trend that someone could have pointed to. DG, the resurgence, of course. I agree with both you guys. I would probably pick either one of those, but I'll just to give some inclusion here. Ty Jerome. Who would have thought Ty Jerome? Only one person on earth saw Ty Jerome being this good, and it was Kobe Altman, I guess, because he was telling us training camp after training camp that this dude can play, and all of us, it became a meme. He was the MVP of September, they called him, and then he got on an actual court healthy for the first time in a year, and the dude just immediately was in 6 Man of the Year conversations. He's a walking typhoon. The heat check moments. I've said, I want to hear your guys' take on this if you haven't seen me tweet this already. He's like a mix of Steph Curry and Matthew Dellavedova. More Delly than Curry, but there's a little bit of that awkwardness mixed with just efficient shooting out of nowhere. Is that a crazy comparison?
I think you're out of your mind. I don't think that makes any sense at all. Well, I think he is I'll say TJ McConnell with a 3-ball.
Okay. That might be more reasonable, but he has that awkward coordination that's hard to put into words unless you've seen Matthew Dellavedova play at times. But then it's the 3-point shooting. I don't know. I thought I was cooking with that one. Maybe I wasn't.
If that comparison is valid, does that mean, Tony, you're the mix of Zach Lowe and Tim Bontemps? Is that the equivalent?
No, I don't think I could take that. But
that's Timmy good times.
Oh man, yeah. Kenny, obviously, and another great thing that we could mention. Just you make a coaching change. I think most of us, at least I know, I said a lot hey, the grass isn't always greener. JB was good. He wasn't
still
amazing, but he was good, and he still is good. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for
Pistons. Are the 6th seed right now.
Yeah. I'm so happy for him, but I was worried. It's not always a grass is greener type of situation. But then Kenny comes in and immediately helps. And
my dumbass wanted James Borrego.
Jackson talked me into James Borrego too, so I was like, I guess we'll take Kenny, but I don't know who's a good coach or not. There's so many factors that go into it, and I'm just watching on my TV, so I can't tell you, who's controlling the locker room and stuff. But Kenny's been great, and this game already nearing the end here. It's pretty competitive so far. I haven't really been locked in, but 28-26.
It's not been bad.
I think the biggest thing with Kenny that I've been impressed with is just the humility. We've kind of seen that kind of taking that extra few years in Golden State and really learning and saying, hey, I screwed up. I think he was even quoted talking about over All-Star break about the stigma of him not being able to work with superstars. And he said, hey, okay, I accept that. Let me learn how to do that. And I think how Kenny was able to learn about himself and really take that and self-scout. I think the Cavs going through what they were going through, it's almost like a relationship. The right relationship happens at the right time. You have to be there mentally, to get into it. I think the Cavs, given all that they were going through with JB, they were ready for this. I don't know if they went through the playoff struggles and they went with the coaching struggles, that they would have been this ready this soon with the new coach or that's accepting of a new way. But I think all that kind of helped build up and lead them into accepting where they are today and kind of get up to speed quicker. So props to Kenny for really being open to improving himself and taking on, like a Johnny O'Brien who really didn't have any connection with, but understanding, hey, if that's better for the team, that's what's going to be best for me. But I really think it's just been a perfect marriage of where the Cavs were at developmentally and where Kenny was at coaching wise. And you're seeing that come to fruition right now.
Yeah. Fantastic point right there. That's something that I've tried to say a lot too, because even if just to back up a little bit and give JB some credit, because I know that there's, especially early on, there's a lot of Cavs fans. They're just, fans in general, kind of trashing JB to lift up Kenny. And really, when you look at it, Kenny has done a lot of great things. He deserves all the credit in the world. But as Luca mentioned, it also just lined up perfectly with the Cavs themselves getting better, like Darius Garland getting healthy and improving in a lot of areas. Evan Mobley is not the same player he was last year. Kenny Atkinson deserves credit for putting him in certain positions, but Evan Mobley is just a lot better. Ty Jerome is a completely different, factor for this team. Just it really was the perfect marriage of the Cavs kind of, these years of continuity and learning where they need to fill the gaps together, combined with a new head coach, a fresh take on everything to get them to gel. And I mean, it started with a 15-0 streak. So you can't really complain when it starts off that good right away and you get that much buy-in from everyone. And honestly, last one of my favorite moments, just to throw in there, the Cavs frog. Who would have thought we'd have another mascot added in? We got Sir Cece, we got Moondog, and now we got a frog. So it's just been an amazing season.
Yeah, I do like that you brought up the that the internal growth matters too. Because the reality is JB coached this team to the second best net rating in the league 2 years ago.
Yeah,
they had the best defense in the league and they had the 8th best offense in the league. It's last year was an outlier year for a trillion reasons, and I do think it was time to move on and stuff. But when they were going nuts, there was a lot of oh, JB needs to be in prison on Twitter, and I know a lot of that's tongue in cheek, but Darius Garland couldn't move last year. He's the most important piece of the entire offense, and he could not change directions because his back seized up every time he tried. Gotta matter at some point. I don't think you can X's and O's your way out of that.
I think
Exactly.
I think I want to take back my previous moment. I think the new favorite moment is that Justin doesn't have to worry about net ratings for the core four and trying to figure out if they work, and he can figure out about the 5th starter. So I think that's
brother. He has a Google Doc. He updates after every game. A Google sheet.
I believe it. I love it. I appreciate that. We all have our thing, and that's his thing, and I love him for that. And I think the thing with JB is it was a chapter that we needed. It happened. Can't necessarily be mad at it. Just like I think what it's most similar to is now Carter. I don't know your relationship status. I don't know where you met your wife or how that went, but I think it was like high school sweethearts. You're going away to college. You grew up with them. You were in the trench with them, but it's a whole new world out there, and you're going to college. And it's just not going to work. I think that was JB. He kind of was left behind in the hometown. Not to say it wasn't happy. He didn't have some good times, but it was time to go out into the big city and experience college life and find a relationship there. And that's what they found with Kenny. So I. Not upset that it happened, happy that it happened, but it was time to move on, and they were just at different places and different times with on their developmental needs, and happy it worked out the way that it did.
And just for your edification, like all cool guys, I met my wife in college in rival a cappella groups.
See? Let's go.
She was your Kenny Atkinson waiting.
Enemies to lovers storybook right there.
Oh
right?
Yeah. Pitch Perfect came out our junior year, and it was a big deal, let me tell you.
Let's go. I love that. All right, so we got 12 points to victory here. Is Team Shaq? Team Shaq is, I'm assuming, the OGs here. It's tough to keep track with these games.
Candace got the dregs.
I'm surprised Team Shaq didn't do an override and get Bull on the All-Star game with the way he's been talking him up the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, honestly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
While we're here, Luca, how about a shout out for Ben Starcher? Rest in peace, man. What a freaking bummer.
R.I.P. He was the one who
Yeah.
helped get Real Cavs fans to where it is today. Wouldn't be here without him. So props to him. Pour one out tonight for him.
Yeah,
Bro, I
absolutely. I
really
mean,
pull up that DM that I had a group DM with him, me, and Justin. I literally pulled up like once or twice a week, like going to DM him and just realized, damn, like I haven't had the heart to unpin it still. Such a bummer, such a loss for the Cavs community. Gave me my first blogging gig at Real Cavs fans. So, shouts to Ben. R.I.P.
The trade deadline wasn't this.
We haven't talked about it. You know, I haven't met you before, Luca, and you know, we've got this pretty clear you know, binding you know, thing in common.
You're saying I got big shoes to fill is what you're saying.
Yes, you do.
The blogs of Carter are left behind, and you know.
Oh no, those are.
shambles.
I think the first piece I wrote was how good of a fit the Luol Deng trade was.
So, we all bought into that one.
Not quite.
But yeah, I'm glad you said that. And yeah, R.I.P. It was that community was a little bit before my time, but just looking at tonight, like the Cavs community, all of us streaming together, all the great people who do Cavs content in general, like from what I understand, he really was just a pioneer for this entire community. And I really do think maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just not in tap with what other fan bases are doing. But when you look at how many different creators we got covering the Cavs, just locally, whether it's on YouTube, doing their own podcast. Yeah, even when we sucked. It's like, I feel like we really are just lucky to have such a great community. And he was obviously a big part of that. So RIP.
Big reps. This is a fun game. They're trying.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the wire here.
If there's a hot take, I would say the courts are my least favorite over the format. I just cannot stand these NBA Cup style courts. At least give me some aesthetics. These are just bleeding the eyes.
I noticed they abandoned the LED court they did last year, which I kind of loved because I'm a production nerd.
Honestly, forgot about the LED court.
An otherwise very unmemorable event, so that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, 3 points to go here. We had another guest who was scheduled to join at the halfway mark. I don't know if they're lurking in here or not. I don't want to reveal them just yet. But if you're here, say hello. If not, maybe maybe something came up, which would, it happens. It's all good.
Your discussion of people being scheduled makes me feel like a real jerk for just showing up and never ever committing to any time.
Very, very loosely scheduled. It was basically just like, yeah, sometime around this time frame. Just because yesterday, I think we only had like 3 people who were probably going to come on. And so I was like, yeah, just any time works. For this, all of a sudden, I asked a bunch of people. I assume most people would say no. Like 5 people said yes. So I was like, oh, shoot. Now I might have to try and lock people into a certain frame. And then Carter says hello in the chat. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Now I don't know what to do with anything. But no, it worked out perfectly.
I'm the sand in the gears, baby.
No, I'm really appreciative that you joined. All right. Oh, this could be it. Nope.
Where do you guys land on the Mr. Beast, the Kevin Hart, all the intermissions? I think it's certainly a little bit different than prior. Carter, does it get into, if it's fun, it's all good?
What was that? Sorry.
No, I say, where do you stand on the Mr. Beast, Kevin Hart commentating?
I just, it's not. I think you hit a certain age where you realize you're just not the target demo for a lot of stuff.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And that's where I feel right now. I'm just, whether I like it or not, it's kind of immaterial because it's not. None of those choices were made for me. I am already a captured audience.
If it makes you feel better, I am breaking into that territory myself now. Turned 26.
Oh, screw off.
In October. I'm starting to feel out of touch with the youth. All right. They're jacking up threes here.
Yeah, they open up the door. They just want to end it, but that's it's making the game. It's extending the game, which is nice.
Oh, air ball.
Well,
yeah. The Playback chat relentlessly makes fun of me for being old. And I'm like, guys, please.
I want to know how awkward the locker room was, given that Kevin Durant refused to go to Golden State, and here he is in Golden State with Steph Curry. That's made for TV right there.
Well, Draymond's not here, so it's probably not too bad. Plus, Steph feels like the kind of guy who would never have a confrontation.
Good point.
I don't think that's his brand.
How do we like Draymond saying he got offered the head coaching job upon his retirement in Golden State?
There was a point.
I didn't hear that.
When Zach was wrapping up his appearance, I saw that push notification, and I made a real stink face, and I realized, oh, I'm on camera. I might be being a jerk.
I didn't catch it, so it's all good. That's funny. No call there? Yeah, they didn't call that?
No, I think they're just no blood, no foul in the All-Star game.
Oh, man. On both arms, too. Oh, man. Hey, maybe a missed call is enough to get them their wake-up call. I was gonna say, maybe that lights a fire under them, a missed call. Nothing like being angry at the refs to motivate someone.
I do have to say, I as much as it's a tinfoil hat theory here, DJ playing an All-Star game, playing with other stars, I think they can see the type of joy, and he's the type of player I can easily see other players wanting to play with. So even the aspect that we talk about recruiting, now Cavs aren't in a spot to really recruit anyone, but I think long term, when you think about him and his play, I think he's the type of player. I mean, we even saw Draymond talk about Draymond, even before he blew up this year and the year prior. I mean, he spoke highly of him. So I think he's a type of player that other players want to play with. And I think this type of environment only furthers that.
Definitely, yeah.
I got to go the other way. I'm going to zag. I'm going to say, keep him away. I don't want these. If we're not in a position to recruit, I don't want him getting recruited.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Good point. Good counter right there.
We got to keep this man out of the All-Star game. Off of Team USA.
I think the only thing that could have made this All-Star game better is that they would just, upon the tip, drop the gloves, started fighting like the Battle of the
like
Nations.
Team USA.
There it
is.
All right, there it is.
Game time. The OG's moving on. Man, that was pretty competitive. The last few possessions there was some competition, I guess. So, the format, it works for like the final few possessions for sure. But yeah, hopefully Donovan Mitchell will end up taking this home. I'm going to let both of you guys go because I don't want to hold you too long. We're going to get a million different.
I was about to bounce.
Yeah, it's going to take forever for the next game to start anyways. But Luca, Carter, everyone already knows who you guys are, I'm going to assume. But Carter, get your plug out the way. If you haven't, I'm sure everyone already knows. But
follow the Chase Down Pod on Twitter, Apple, Spotify. You want to watch our post-game live streams? We go live twice a week on the Cavs YouTube channel.
Hell yeah. Check out the Chase Down. I'm sure everyone already knew, but I had to let you do it. Luca, let the people know where they can find you.
At Real Cavs Fans on X and at realcavsfans.com. We always welcome posters and lurkers alike. So if you guys ever want to talk Cavs, please feel free to do so and hop on and join the rest of the Cavs community all around the world.
Yep, absolutely. Right. Luca, one of the best Twitter follows for sure. Carter as well. So make sure you guys keep in touch with them. And thank you to both. This was awesome. I really appreciate both of you taking the time, and hopefully we'll link up again soon.
All right, goodbye forever.
Appreciate you guys.
See ya. All right, we potentially have one more guest. I don't know if you guys can hear me. It's weird when people leave, my camera cuts out. So I don't know if you heard me, but we potentially have one more guest who may join at some point here. But so far, what a night. What a great night of Cavs guests. I mean, everyone was on time. I know I had Luca waiting for a moment there, so I apologize. But everyone was great. Great takes, great mini Cavs podcast throughout. So again, can't thank them enough for joining and make sure that you go follow all of them. And yeah, potentially one more, but we'll see. Greatest hits tonight. Yeah, we're getting everybody. We can't have them back. They disrespected the wall. That was unfortunate, Dan. I can't believe they did that. I really had to hold back. I almost banned them both. I almost had to do it just to defend your honor, but I let it happen. But yeah, big shout out to everyone who's joined tonight. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, one thing that we've mentioned a little bit here and there throughout the stream, but definitely a theme that I'm noticing for this All-Star night, it's got to be the least amount of basketball that we've seen in an All-Star game ever, right? We're barely really seeing any basketball. I feel like I've been watching in-arena entertainment for 65% of the night. I feel like it's like a 60-40 split, 60% in-arena entertainment, 40% basketball. And I believe the target score for the championship game is only 25. So it's going to be even shorter game here. So they've had Mr. Beast, Kevin Hart, all these different, in-arena things. And I think it was Luca who mentioned it. Maybe this is like Adam Silver trying to appeal to the younger audience. There's probably plenty of kids out there who don't know who Evan Mobley is, but they know who Mr. Beast is. They're going to watch his segment, and then maybe they'll stick around and watch the rest of the game. I don't know, but I guess I respect Adam Silver cooking here and trying to do something, but yeah, definitely the least amount of basketball. I'm sure someone's keeping track of the amount of time that it's taken for each game, because even that last game that we just saw, I felt like the actual game itself probably took 10 minutes, but there was they're doing halftime shows in between every timeout, and they're calling timeout every 10 points. So, I mean, hey, get that ad money, I guess. NBA, go get your sponsorships, but it does feel like it's less about the actual basketball than ever right now, which is a little disappointing. Yeah, it's like, what are we waiting for right now? Can we just play the game? But yeah, I mean, I guess let's see what the hell they got going on now. I'm actually going to take my break real quick since we don't have a guest and I don't know what's going to happen. You guys get to look at the wall for a moment. I'll be back very quickly, and we'll check this last game out. The bro show with a Dune reference just made me realize that I completely forgot to ask any of our guests about Dune. I thought about doing it. I really did. I thought about asking Carter and Luca especially, but I couldn't risk it. I can't afford having anyone else against me in the Dune Wars. I decided to be conservative and just, Jared Allen's on my side. That's all I need. So I'm good there. Also, I just got word during my break. I checked my phone. Our final guest has canceled on me. And normally I would offer a lot of grace and patience to, a guest and everything. And I'll tell you guys not to be upset at them. But because I have been deemed an enemy of the pod by our special guest, I want everyone to tell Fear the Fro, aka Bob, that he broke your heart. Go let him know on Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever you can. Let him know that he shattered your heart. You can't believe that he flaked. It's such a disgrace. It's so unfortunate. Obviously, I'm just kidding. Bob is great. Fear the Fro was awesome. He's been on here before, actually, way back, and I think preseason we had him on here. So he's already done his duty on the playback stream, but hopefully we'll get him on for another game, a Cavs game perhaps, or even just back on the Junkyard Pod for an episode. It'd be great. Bob is awesome, but you should definitely go let him know that he let you down tonight. Voice your displeasure and disappointment in his Twitter replies or his Blue Sky mentions, wherever you find him. And yes, I actually don't think I don't think me and Jackson are enemies of the pod, but we were, buddying up with the biggest enemy of the pod and Tim Bontemps. And so, you are who you hang with, you are who you associate with. We definitely let him down. And Corey let him down writing that that hit piece, the shameless hit piece on our sweet Jared Allen. May have been the second strike there. So we have to be on our best behavior with Bob moving forward. Bontemps mentioned. Yeah. Yeah, we were buddying up with Tim, and that got us on the Fear the Fro hit list there. But in all seriousness, we love Bob. And it's a shame. It's a shame he was probably, as Demo said, probably selfishly taking care of his family. Unbelievable. We just saw, everyone else took time away from their family to hang out with me, but I guess Bob just couldn't do it. It's unfortunate. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, another concert here. Yeah, like I said, they definitely it might be 70-30, the split. 70% entertainment, 30% actual basketball. Send them to the Baron. Yeah. Oh my God. Let the desert take him. The Oscars is coming up, I believe, next week. No, 2 weeks from now? 2 weeks from now, I think. The Oscars coming up soon. My boy, Timothy, he's taking home something. We're leaving with something. He's either getting Best Actor. What are the big hitters for Oscars? Okay, let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. I know Best Picture. There's a lot. Dune Part 2 is nominated for Best Picture. I don't think it's going to win, but it is nominated. I'll be praying for it. The Substance is nominated. I'm blanking. There's another big one. Anora. I think if Dylan's still in the chat, I think Dylan or someone in here said that they just saw Anora earlier today. It was Dylan, yes. It's a good movie. It's fine. I don't know if it would be my pick for Best Picture. I would definitely pick Dune, and maybe I still have to see The Substance. I'm a big horror geek, as I'm sure I've said before, so I'm rooting for a horror movie to win. Wicked is up for Best Picture, and I think a couple other things as well. But yeah, Anora seems like the favorite to win Best Picture from what I understand. I'd be fine with that. It's a pretty good movie. I'm rooting for Dune Part 2. Amelia Perez is nominated for like 13 things. If you guys have even heard of that movie, I don't blame you if you haven't, because it doesn't seem very popular, and there's also a bunch of controversy with it now. But Dune is nominated, and my mind is stuck on Dune. Timothy Chalamet is nominated for Best Actor, but not for Paul Atreides. It's for being Bob Dylan in the Complete Unknown movie. I don't think A Complete Unknown is nominated for Best Picture. So I'm big time rooting for Timothy there. Want him to win. I believe he'd be the youngest ever to win Best Actor, so that would be sweet. I feel like there's other stuff that I'm rooting for, but now I'm kind of blanking. I know Nosferatu is nominated for Best Cinematography. That would be cool if it won. I'm not sure if it will, but that would be pretty cool. Dylan gives it a 3.8 because he wasn't expecting what it was. I'm not usually a fan of that genre, but the way it was shot was pretty good. Yeah. Anora, it's fine. It's solid. I did think it turned into a comedy like midway through, and that was my favorite part of it. Like when it got pretty funny. The rest of it was just okay. Yeah, as Danny says, Amelia Perez is, I might even be pronouncing that wrong. Amelia Perez is polarizing. Yeah, there's a bunch of controversy with it. I haven't seen the movie. I honestly was going to give it a shot just to see like what all the hype is, because it's nominated for 13 different things. But then there's the whole controversy now with the lead actress, and I don't know if I feel like seeing it. But The Brutalist is nominated. That's like a 3.5 hour long movie with an intermission, a 20-minute intermission. But I've heard that's a favorite to win a lot of things. So yeah, I guess we'll see. The Cavs are playing that day, I think at 3:30. So I'll hijack the playback stream. We'll end up talking about the Oscars and Dune instead of whatever is going on with the Cavs. Final predictions. All right, my predictions. These aren't my picks, but these are my predictions. Oh, that day. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll give you one. I predict Anora's gonna win Best Picture. And I think Mikey Madison is also going to win Best Actress. I don't know who else is nominated off the top of my head. I know I've looked at the list, but I'm gonna predict Mikey Madison has a big night. I love her. She's awesome. She was in Scream 5. Great in Scream 5. That's all I'll say. So yeah, definitely rooting for them. Want Timothée Chalamet to win. I'm gonna predict he wins too, because there's a lot of good actors nominated there. I know Adrian Brody's nominated for The Brutalist for Best Actor. I think Ralph Fiennes is nominated for Conclave, which I want to watch, but yeah, we'll get the final predictions Sunday, like March 3rd or something like that. It's Cavs versus Trailblazers, so it's possible that it'll be a blowout game, and the Blazers have been playing better recently, but it's possible it'll be a blowout, and I'll be able to hijack the stream. And yeah, Sean Baker, the director of Anora, right? The director and writer, Florida Project, I've heard is great. I've been meaning to check that out. The Discussing Film account on Twitter was announcing the winner of awards today. That might have been, I think the Writers Guild Association did an award show. I don't know if that was today or not. Maybe it was BAFTAs, whatever that stands for. Samara is the movie nerd. I say that lovingly. She would know better than me. She is very hyped for the Oscars. And I'm hyped too, because I'm rooting for Dune. Honestly, I'm rooting for Mikey Madison to win Best Actress, or Demi Moore. That's who I was blanking on. Demi Moore of The Substance. I still have to see the movie before I can really stand for it, but I'm a horror fan. I've heard everyone says it's amazing. I'm going to be rooting for it. By the way, good God, it is 10:03, and this game still hasn't started. Oh yeah, Zoe Saldana is up there too for Amelia Perez. British Arts Film Theater Awards. Leave it to Dan to know. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate that. Sounds right to me. So I'm gonna trust your judgment there. But yeah, I know Anora has won like basically everything it's been nominated for in the other awards. And it's like historically a pretty good indicator that means though it'll win Best Picture. So that's kind of my prediction. Honestly, the only movies that I would be upset, I haven't seen Wicked yet. I've heard good things about it. I don't know why I'm like a hater of Wicked. I don't even know why. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know why I just unfairly have a bias against it, but I have to watch it and give it a shot because everyone has told me that it's good. But I don't know why. I feel like I'm not going to like it. The Wild Robot. Yeah, that I've been meaning to see that. That's nominated for Best Animated Picture. So that could win. Very good if you like musicals. See, I haven't seen many musicals. La La Land is good. So I'll give it a shot. I'll see Wicked eventually. By the way, I know I've already mentioned this on the stream, so the people who are here all the time have probably heard me say this at least once or twice, but next week, Sunday, a week from now, Dune Part 2 is being re-released. I'm going to see that. And then on Thursday of next week, Interstellar re-released in Encore, Dolby Atmos, biggest screens in Cleveland, best audio system. It's going to be the greatest week of my life. Dune Part 2 and Interstellar re-release. I'm going to be living it up. So I'm really hyped for that. And also, shameless plug for Regal. I don't get paid for this. They really should pay me at this point. But if you're interested in any of the Best Picture movies, they're being re-released in Regal throughout like the next couple weeks for, I think, $5. So Dylan, you haven't seen Dune. If you haven't seen any of them, if you're able to watch part 1, I think it's on Netflix, and then go see Dune Part 2 in theaters. It's only $5 and it's coming out, I think it's next Sunday and next Thursday. There's like 2 different showings. You'd have to look, but there's your opportunity. I would definitely recommend seeing it in theaters if you could. But it's still the greatest movie of all time, even if you're watching from your home. So I'm going to recommend it. Dune Part 1, you might be a little bored. I'll give you that. Be patient with it. It's a little bit of a slow burn. But Dune Part 2 is all gas, no brakes, balls to the wall. Paul is riding a damn sandworm. He's fighting Elvis. He's doing everything. So it's a great movie. Are you a board game guy? There's a Dune board game that's actually really fun. I went to Barnes and Noble a few weeks ago and we saw the Dune board game. So I have to try it. I can't claim that I'm a board game guy because I don't play enough to really be able to hold that title, but I do love board games. Like every time I play one, I have fun. But I feel like I don't play enough to really be eligible for that title. But I would love to check out that Dune board game. I'll be honest with you guys. I love Dune Part 1 as well. I think Dune Part 1 is incredible. I understand why people find it a little more boring. It's setting the stage, it's world building, but I'm telling you, once you see Part 2, I genuinely think once you see the full, because it really is, it's 2 parts of a full movie. You gotta look at Part 1 as that way. It really is a Part 1. Demo, it is so funny that you asked that. I'll get to that in 1 second, but Dune comes first. Sorry. Dune Part 1 is setting the stage for Dune Part 2. Once you see Dune Part 2 and you rewatch Dune Part 1, it's even better. There's so much foreshadowing, and it's a brilliant film. Demo, Harry Potter. The reason why that's funny that you mentioned is because I literally just saw Harry Potter 4, The Goblet of Fire, today in theaters. I went and saw it. It was re-released, so we went to go see it. So Demo is the least on El Gaib. He literally, he knew. Not for the first time. I saw most of the Harry Potter movies in theaters when they came out. And then I haven't rewatched the entire series in a very long time. But I used to have Part 4, The Goblet of Fire, on DVD when I was a kid. And that was one of those movies. I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of people did this when they were younger. I would just, before streaming services, I'm an old man, I would just put in the same movie like every night and fall asleep to it. So for like a solid month, it was Goblet of Fire. So I have like that entire first half of the movie just seared into my brain because I just watched it every night before I went to sleep. But I saw it again for the first time as an adult in theaters. And you know what? It absolutely slaps. Good movie. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the Harry Potter movies. Voldemort showing up for the first time at the end. Goated. Best moment in the franchise, if you ask me. I have to rewatch the Harry Potter movies. Now I'm motivated to rewatch them. Zach, yes. Oh, man. I'm so hyped to rewatch them now because I know I kind of rewatched them in a weird order, going straight to Part 4, but that was always my favorite. And so I had to go see it. Yeah, they killed my boy Cedric. They killed him. They killed Robert. That's the main reason why I loved it. Even before I knew that I was a Robert Pattinson fan, way back in the day, before he even did Twilight, I just knew there was something special about that movie. And yeah, he's great in it. Even though he has a really small role, he doesn't really do much in it. But yeah, it's so, spoiler alert. Yeah, he does die at the end of that movie. It's very tragic. But I just love that movie. I think it's so awesome. I've never read the Harry Potter books. I think that could be something that maybe I do. I read Hunger Games for the first time last year, so maybe I'll get to Harry Potter eventually. As Cleveland Cavaliers says, yeah, there's a Harry Potter video game, or there's multiple video games. I played one of them way back in the day. Don't remember what it was called, but that was really good. That was probably mid 2000s, so I don't know which one that would have been, but I've heard the new game's fun. The books are great. Movies do a good job, so it's not like you're missing a bunch, but they're definitely worth reading. Yeah, maybe I'll get into it. It's always nice to switch things up. Like I said, I'm a big horror movie nerd, so I watch a lot of read a lot of Stephen King books. Oh, that reminds me. Someone asked if I've ever seen The Green Mile. I have not seen The Green Mile. That's a Stephen King story. That's why I thought of it. Haven't seen it. I feel like it's gonna make me cry, which I'm not opposed to, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll probably try reading the books first because, like I said, I love Stephen King. He's my favorite author. Read a bunch of his stuff, but it is horror. A lot of it is heavy and dark. So switching it up and reading a Harry Potter book, that could help. That's why I read Hunger Games last year. I was like, you know what? I read like Misery and some other Stephen King book. I was like, let me switch it up. The Bro Show, gonna reread The Stand. Man, that book is what, 1,300 pages? That's his longest book. I have not read it yet, but I've heard it's one of his best. A lot of people say it is his best. So I'm ready to do it. I've read it, the clown book. That's the longest book I've ever read. I think that's like 1,100 pages. Incredible work. Oh yeah, Jared Allen recommended the 3-body problem. I've heard a lot about that. I'm gonna have to add that to my list. The Count of Monte Cristo. I've never read that one either. And there's a Netflix series. Would you recommend reading the book, or like should I read the book first, or should I watch the Netflix series first, or like which one? Where do you stand on that, Demo? I know sometimes the series isn't as good, but you said it was nuts good. So it's got to be pretty good. But yeah, I also read 11/22/63 by Stephen King. That's my favorite book by him so far. It's a weird book. It's a weird pitch. But that one's basically about just to give you like the short synopsis. It's like it's not a horror book. So if you're like, oh, I've never read a Stephen King book, but I'm not really into horror, 11/22/63. That book, so good. It's like a time travel thriller. Basically, this just regular guy ends up roped into a scheme to go back in time and try to stop JFK from being assassinated. Sounds like a really weird setup, but it's honestly a great book. The only problem is it's like 900 pages long, so it's always hard for me to recommend it to people and be like, "Oh yeah, you've never read Stephen King? Just read this 900-page book." Like it's really, you pick that book up at a store and it's very intimidating, but I flew through it. I mean, I was completely hooked. So, Stephen King's great. And maybe one day I'll give you guys a full breakdown. Hopefully we'll get back to some basketball at some point. Jesus, I can't believe we still haven't even started this game, but it looks like they're about to. Stephen King on writing. Yeah, that's like his basically not a memoir, but it's him writing some of his advice about like his career and the way that he writes, his writing style. I have that book, but I haven't read it yet. So I'm looking forward to that. Kevin does look like a child. It's crazy. Like I understand Shaq and Karl Anthony Towns are going to make him look little, but even Ernie is towering over him. Which, by the way, how tall is Ernie? Because he looks like he's about the same height as Damian Lillard, although depth perception is a big thing, you know. Could be helping him out. He's got to be a comfortable 6 foot. I mean, he looks like he's not even that much shorter than Chuck. Yeah, let's get another concert. Jello Ball, run it back one more time. On writing's a half memoir, half writing advice. Yeah, I can't wait to read that one. That I bought that I think last summer, and I've just been kind of saving it. Can't wait to read The Stand. Can't wait to read the Dark Tower series. I've read The Gunslinger, but I haven't gotten into the second book yet. Lots of stuff on my list. I'm trying to get back into reading too. I fell into a little bit of a slump, but just finished. I read From a Buick 8, which is a Stephen King book. It's okay. Not one of my favorites, but it's all right. Ernie is 6'1". All right, so we had how long has it been since the last game? Like a solid 30 minutes, I feel like. I can actually check because I messaged Bob right around the time that Carter and Luca left. So let's see exactly how long it's been. Okay, I messaged him at 9:35. I think it was slightly before Luca and Carter left. So it's legitimately been like 40 minutes since we had any basketball being played. all the notes in it. Yeah, I'm not good at taking notes while I read. I tried people put like the tabs in their book when they read. My girlfriend does that and she bought me the tabs. I never did it. I don't know. I tried, but then I got annoyed with the tabs as I was flipping through the pages and I never did it. Writing directly in the margins, that's always fun when you go to the used bookstores and find those. But no, I respect it. All right, finally getting some basketball, I think. It's the OGs versus the international stars, right? The international stars plus Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. I don't even remember Trae Young being on the floor today, honestly. All right, we get a one-legged three-point floater to fall, start off this game. See, can Donovan Mitchell make us proud? Can he be the MVP? Let's see right here. Yeah, I feel like Mitchell, you need him to go on one of those heaters where he just scores like 12. Oh, the target score is 40, by the way. But you need him to score like 12 points in like a minute. Just get one of those flamethrower stretches if you're going to get an MVP out of him. We could very well see Steph Curry try to light it up in San Francisco, in the Bay, try to get a hometown MVP here. Yeah, I wonder what the discussion on this All-Star game is. I haven't been scrolling through Twitter. I'd have to imagine people are a little annoyed with how long this is taking. Like I said, way more concerts and gimmicks than actual basketball being played. Are people irritated? Yeah. Honestly, a normal game probably would have been shorter. This started at 8:00. And the normal games that, since we've been doing these playback streams, I can see exactly how long the games take on average. It's usually about 2 hours, 20 minutes. So we're 2 hours and 17 minutes into this experience so far. And we got a little ways to go here. So probably would have been shorter just to do a regular game, especially when you consider they're not stopping the game for fouls as often in the All-Star game. BG, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if I wasn't streaming this on Playback and hanging out with the chat and having all those great guests join, I probably would have been, I don't know, I might have booted up the PlayStation or something. I don't know if I would have been watching this on my own. All right, Karl Anthony Towns fighting through some contact there. Come on, Mitchell. We need it. We need it. See, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen for our guy. I reported someone cheating in Battlefront 2015. See, Jackson, that's how I know we're both old, because you're playing a 2015 game and I still play the original Halo 3. And I feel like that's an old head thing. When you just stop keeping up with the new games, you just pick your favorite and run that thing into the dirt. That's how I've been. And you're reporting people for cheating, which is funny. Although I do the same thing, but Dan already got the PS5 on. Oh, Mitchell. Yeah, Jackson out here snitching on people. The game's been out for 10 years. You're getting people banned. But no, it's annoying. That's one of the toughest things about trying to play your old favorites, the old classics, is like, you go play Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Good luck. Good luck getting into a lobby where someone's not using an aimbot or something. I do not watch anime. I feel like if I do end up watching it eventually, I'll probably love it. But I just haven't tried it out yet. I'm also, like I've said, I'm not great with TV shows. I have to like get hooked to really stick with a TV show. So anime, one of these days, I'll give it a shot. Cowboy Bebop, yeah, if you're cool. Thought you were just suggesting it, but no, it's only if you're cool. Okay, I'll have to. That's one of the ones that I've heard a lot about. The Green Mile on my list, and Meet Joe Black. I don't know. Let me Google that real quick. For some reason, that's not ringing a bell. Let me see. Meet Joe Black. Have I heard of this one? Oh, okay. Yeah. Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins. All right. Hell yeah. Add him to the list. Oh, yeah. If we're counting The Last Airbender, then I have seen that. I don't know. Does that count as an anime? I'm not qualified to tell. But that is great. I watched that when I was younger, and I rewatched it a few years ago, and it still holds up. Django Unchained is great. Haven't seen it in a while, but great Jamie Foxx performance. Good Quentin Tarantino movie. Yeah, I think Mitchell's MVP case might be cooked. 11-1, by the way. Dan, that's why I was worried. I was like, I don't want to make the anime fans mad if I say that I've seen, like, whenever someone asks me if I've seen anime, I don't want to reply with Avatar: The Last Airbender because I'm like, I don't know if that technically qualifies, and I don't want to make anybody mad. But it is good. Whether it's a cartoon or an anime, it's a very good show. And like I said, it holds up. Even if you're an adult, it definitely holds up. Trying to think, what is the last TV show I even finished? I've been watching seasons of Survivor here and there. Haven't watched one in a little while, but that I haven't technically finished that. I watched The Penguin. I think that's the last TV show that I watched. BG, Survivor is awesome. I forget what season I'm on. I'm on Blood versus Water. I've been going through all of them in order, but I've been like skipping. I started with Pearl Islands, and I've been going through in order, but like skipping seasons every once in a while just to get to like what the seasons that are considered good. Some of them I've heard are worth skipping. Rupert, man, he was my first. Well, technically, okay. When I started rewatching them, Rupert on Pearl Islands, immediate favorite, awesome. When I first watched Survivor, way back when I was like a kid, and I would just watch it when like my parents had it on, my main man was Ozzy. Ozzy from Cook Islands, Fan versus Favorites. He's been in a couple things. I don't remember. I don't think he was in Heroes versus Villains, but I loved Ozzy. Great, best challenge beast, one of the best challenge performers. And I was worried when I rewatched it that maybe watching it as an adult, I wouldn't think he's as cool as he was when I was a kid in the challenges. But you know what? He holds up too. That man can swim like no one else. I mean, he could put Michael Phelps to shame. He's an amazing. Every time he's in the challenges, he just does amazing. And those tend to be my favorite contestants. I'm a sucker for the challenge beasts. Yeah, the bro show. I was wondering if anyone was going to mention it. Unfortunately, he turned out to be a little bit of a loser. He's a porn star now. Did you know that? He has an OnlyFans. So that's what he's up to now. I guess he just pivoted to a different career. I've heard Demo, I will not be linking that in the chat, but check your DMs. No, I'm just kidding. I've heard of From. I didn't know it was a horror type show. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Well, when I watch Survivor, especially the older seasons, some contestants are so like quirky or weird. I'm just like, I have to see what they're doing now. Like, I have to Google them and see where they're at now. And Ozzy was definitely a jump scare when I Googled that and found out what he's been up to. So, Jackson dropping in off The Office sucks. You know what? People who love The Office, good for you. I'm not going to hate on you. I watched it when I was in high school and I loved it. Now, when I rewatch it, I'm not hooked. I'm not hooked. It's fine. Shout out to everyone who loves it. I loved it when I was in high school. Now, it's okay. John Krasinski's awesome. Steve Carell's awesome. Don't know why I'm blanking on the guy who plays Dwight. He's great. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. The Office it's solid. Like, if you're just looking for Rainn Wilson, yeah. If you're just looking for like a sitcom to throw on in the background every once in a while, you lock in, it's good. You know what's a good TV show? BoJack Horseman. That's the TV show that I remember watching a few years ago and being surprised by it. Because you think it's just like a goofy cartoon, and then it gets wild. But that's a good show. Yeah. Yeah, BoJack Horseman, it's pretty good. The first season is a little hit or miss, but then it really hits its stride. And it gets like weirdly dark and emotional for like a cheesy adult cartoon. It's going to have you contemplating life. I was like, damn. I don't know if I even want to rewatch it. It gets so heavy. I did see Godzilla -1. Great Godzilla movie. I used to love Godzilla growing up. I watched like the classic ones, even the black and white one. I'm pretty sure there's a black and white one. This Godzilla -1 has a black and white version, but I think even some of the old classics were black and white. Great new edition of Godzilla. Really good. Character focused, character driven. It's great. The Traders, that's with Parvati, right? Is that the one with Parvati? And is Boston Rob doing it as well? Or am I thinking of something else? Parvati is goated, by the way, from Survivor. She might be my goat. She might be the goat. Without spoiling anything for anyone who hasn't seen Survivor, I'm just gonna say there's 2 seasons where she should have won. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not saying whether she won or lost, but she should be a 2-time winner. That's all I'm gonna say. Won't tell you what seasons or anything like that, but I think she was robbed. Rob's in the new season. Okay. Dude, Parvati is goated. She was awesome. Micronesia, fans versus favorites, I think is my favorite season. Heroes versus villains is great, but Parvati and Micronesia, ruthless. The Black Widows, I think they were calling themselves. Amazing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of promos for Traders, and it looks funny. Winners at War. Yeah, I think that one's coming up for me. I'm on Blood versus Water, and I started that in December, right before I got sick, and then I just kind of stopped watching because I had a fever, and so you know how it is when you're like in that daze with a fever. You can't even watch TV shows. You don't even know what the hell is going on. I was like, I don't want to ruin this season for myself by not really being able to pay attention. So I'll get back to it eventually. I've heard Winners at War is great, but I'm wondering if you're saying that because I'm going to be upset about the winner potentially. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah. Again, as I've said all night, there hasn't been any basketball on my screen. Every time I look, there's some promo going on. Oh, Parvati's in it. I didn't know she was in Winners at War. So that's cool. Amanda, another great contestant, great survivor. I'm blanking on someone. There's another one of my favorites. BG, I have no delusions about myself. I would not last on Survivor. More power to you if you get on and you can handle it. I would be horrible on Survivor. I'm a picky eater. I would starve to death. I'm a horrible swimmer. So if there's a water challenge, I'm cooked. I'm literally going to drown. Like I can doggy paddle and that's about it. I watch these challenges and I'm like, how do you hold your breath that long? How do you swim that far out and then go all the way down and untie this, all that? I would literally drown. You would have to evac me first challenge. Some of the other challenges I could do, I think I'm somewhat fast. I'm kind of strong. Like I could do some things. Swimming, you're literally going to have to evac me. It's not happening. And then, yeah, the food, I don't know if I could eat the stuff they eat. Granted, they give them rice now, so like you have rice, you have beans, but like I don't even like beans. I'm not even a big bean guy. I'm gonna be struggling. I'm a baby. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't think I could outlast anybody. Maybe I could outwit some people, but I don't think I could outlast anybody out there in those conditions. This is a crazy amount of stoppage in play, by the way. They don't have chicken tendies. Exactly, dude. I eat chicken nuggets all the time. What am I supposed to do? I don't know how I'm going to survive. I would literally, if I got selected to be on Survivor, I would be upset. I would be looking for ways to get out of it. But yeah, that honestly, big time respect to everyone who goes on because especially the early seasons, they really just used to throw you out there and say good luck. Now they give you like some rice and then they give you some baseline stuff to keep you going. And I think it's shorter as well. It used to be 36 days, I think, and now it's only 28 or something. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Out of 10, rank Raising Cane's. Okay. I don't remember. I know I've told this story before. I don't remember if Dr. Manhattan was here or not. I used to love Raising Cane's. I used to be a caniac, but I got food poisoning or the stomach flu or something around this time when I ate Raising Cane's. I don't know if Cane's was responsible for it or what happened, but TMI, threw up a lot of Raising Cane's and now I am scarred. Can't eat it. It's been a couple years. Maybe I'll be able to go back soon. I've driven past it a couple times and thought like, am I ready? Am I ready to try it again? I don't know. But yeah, so pre pre-sickness, Cane's was like a 10 out of 10 as far as fast food goes. You gotta clarify that. What is going on my screen, by the way? Are they supposed to be playing a game? Don't they still have like 20 more points before the game's over? The game's not over, right? They still have basketball to play. What is this? Okay, this is kind of funny making them go fishing, though. I will say, I wish they weren't stopping the game for this, but it is kind of funny getting revenge on them for all those years. It feels like actual work. Oh my goodness. It's like you couldn't do this at the end of the night during the Inside the NBA segment. This is like a 1 a.m. Inside the NBA segment. Yeah, it's during the game. What is even the score? I don't even know what the score is. They haven't played. It's still 11-1. I can see it in the top. It's still 11-1. I thought we were halfway or something. This better be the last stop. This better be the last one. Again, I would like everyone to keep in mind that I texted Fear the Fro, who disgracefully canceled on me. Again, let him know on Twitter that he did me wrong. Just kidding. Don't actually do that. But I texted him at 9:35 to get ready for this last game. It's 10:32. It's 10:32. And it's 11-1. Okay, Apollo's had enough. He wants to leave the room. Give me a second. I did reach out to him, Jackson. He canceled on me. But no, to be fair, by the way, he did let me know. Oh, Tim, you said him. To be fair, Fear the Fro did let me know that he wasn't 100% sure that he'd be able to come on. So there are no harsh feelings at all. I'm absolutely joking. Not enough basketball being played in my all-star game. I feel like even the players are like, even James Harden is like, bro, can we go out there, score 30 more points and go home? Okay, he said, let's go out with a bang. Let's close this out. You have to assume this is the end, right? White Lotus has Survivor castmates in it. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch White Lotus. That's been mentioned quite a few times already. Yeah, I mean I guess it's good for the fans who are there, because if they stuck with this format of the tournament style, because each game has gone by really quickly. Like each game, it's only taken like 10, 15 minutes of actual basketball time. So if you paid all this money to go to this event and then the games are over in like 40 minutes, it probably makes sense that they have to add some in-arena entertainment. But maybe that's a flaw with this format for everyone watching from home. We're getting another cam? Why aren't we playing basketball? Can I get the camera that has the NBA All-Stars playing basketball, please? Is that on the wheel? Why are we doing a flex cam or a hammer cam? You've had 30 minutes. The fans are cammed out. But yeah, so Natalie from Fans vs. Faves in White Lotus. That might have just sealed the deal on me watching White Lotus sometime soon. What even is the hammer? Oh, okay. This is absurd. Yeah, lots of breaks for the concession stands. Well, after tonight, we get no NBA basketball until Wednesday, I think. And the only game on is Hornets versus Lakers at 10 p.m. So I haven't decided if I'm going to try to stream that or not. I figured if Jackson's in here, I figured I'd leave it up to him. If he wants to do a late night Hornets Lakers stream, maybe we'll go for it. If not, I'm not complaining. Another spin? We're doing more? I'm assuming they have to let the players warm up again now because they just spent 45 minutes sitting on the sidelines. But I mean, come on, man. Stupid basketball game is interrupting my commercials. Yeah. Man, I really wish I was watching another. Where's Ken Ganley Kia when you need him? Thank you guys for watching all this with me. Jeez, we've been here all night. Appreciate you guys. I could have scheduled 8 more guests at this rate. Oh, was he hitting the John Wall there for a second? It's been a minute since I saw someone do the John Wall. Here we go. We got some Bulls fan representation for BG. I could have started reading Dune. I said it before, man. I got to just start. We could get through the entire book by the time the playoffs start with all the commercials and timeouts that we get. Live reading begins now. Apollo has made his return to the room. I don't know if you can see him. Here's his head. Apollo cam. We need an Apollo cam. That's what we need. Dune Messiah is only 300 pages. Made you cry. I know nothing about the story in Dune Messiah, and I still haven't been able to decide if I want to read the book first or watch the movie when it comes out. Apparently, it's supposed to begin filming in June, so it could be out sooner rather than later. So I might just wait for the movie, but I don't know. Zach, I had no idea what Dune is outside of it. Hey, man, boot up Netflix tonight. Watch Dune Part 1. Get through it. Listen, it might not be your favorite, but Dune Part 2 is going to make up for it. It's incredible. So, can't recommend enough. No. We were having so much fun talking about Dune, and here comes Jackson.
No.
The Sand movie sucks. We don't like the Sand movie.
I had to put a stop to this.
I went over the edge, huh? Too much?
You did. So I had the fun police came. There was a call. So I said, guys,
Dune is so much better when you don't have Jackson on stage telling you it's not good.
So what I can tell you is if you told me I had to watch 4 hours of Dune or 4 hours of The Office, it's not even a choice for me. It would be 4 hours of Dune. So
yeah. Okay, I thought you were going the other way with that.
No, of course not. I mean,
a common enemy has been found.
Yes. So I would do that. Or
what if you had to watch 4 hours of commercials and Kevin Hart bits in between basketball?
Probably go with Dune as well. So I just don't want to, I just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Apollo, you can tell the stream has gone on for a while because Apollo is like getting restless. He's like, I'm ready to get some attention.
Demo, yeah, I did get on the stage just to trash The Office. Listen, I don't know if I feel like I'm on the wrong side of the chat right now, but whatever.
You came for Dune and The Office.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Man, what have you thought about these events? I know you're someone who already does not enjoy the All-Star game. Has this changed your opinion of it?
No, of course not. So my thing is, and I did tweet this, but like the All-Star game is not going to be good unless basketball is the main focus, and basketball is not the main focus. And
feels like maybe the 4th or 5th main focus.
Right, and like even like as bad as the games have been in the past, this is, I think this has been the least entertaining night because there's literally been no basketball.
Yeah, I mean it's literally 70% segments and 30% basketball, maybe not even.
Right, and like I hear people like, oh, this is
save me Wemby.
Like I'm just not like the target audience, and it's like I don't know who the target audience is. I can't imagine like high schoolers like Kevin Hart. Like I liked Kevin Hart when I was a high school college age kid, but like I can't imagine like a 16-year-old's like, dude, Kevin Hart's so cool, man.
I was just gonna ask, is Generation Alpha into Kevin Hart? I don't know, honestly. Maybe.
I mean, like if they did just a lot of Mr. Beast stuff, and it was like, dude, like I do not get this at all. That's one thing, but this is not a lot of like he was out there for like a second, but
yeah,
like this is just bad. And then like when you wait this long to play, like the basketball's been bad. The basketball was actually okay during the Rising Stars game.
Yeah, that was solid.
But kind of the problem is the fun part of the All-Star game is that when they're trying hard, everyone is like a star, which is in the name All-Star. And it was like half star. It was a good half star game. So that's where it's just like,
Yeah. I don't think the All-Star game has been saved, unfortunately. I honestly don't think you can save it. I think it just is what it is. Like this is what you're signing up for. The difference is usually you get it done in like 2 hours rather than 3.
I feel like the thing is you can always save the All-Star game, but like you just can't save it with the gimmicks. Like
all it comes down to is just entertaining plays. There's no format that's going to change that. As Zach just said, only the players can save it.
Right. And it's like one of the things that I've said is that when you go to the All-Star game, you realize how much it's not like an actual basketball game and how like no one's able to prepare on the court before the game because they have to do all these pictures and run through all the halftime shows and everything. So like 2 hours before the game, the court's not available like it is during an NBA game. So like all these things add up, and then like they only have 15 minutes to warm up, and like when they're warming up, there's like half of it's like the players' kids are on the court. So like last year, I said this in one of the streams a couple days ago, but like last year I was there and Donovan Mitchell was trying to like warm up, and like Giannis's kid kept like running in the way and like grabbing the ball, and like Mitchell, like you could tell he was like a little annoyed, but it's like, what can you do? So it's just like there's so many things like that where it's like, well, if you treated it like an actual game, then maybe you could get an actual game performance. But like when you do it like this, it's not, like this is just what you're gonna get. And I don't think that it's not like afterwards the players are like, yo, that was fun. You know what I mean?
Can't wait to do this again next year.
Right. So like I feel like, it would be more fun for them if the game actually meant something. But like I think it's kind of the mindset that like,
all right, half court shot. we get a moment of excitement there.
Yeah. The problem is then like the next 6 people try to do it.
Yeah.
So like, thank you, Jalen Brunson.
Steph's gonna do it again. Hopefully it goes in Jokic's face. Yep. All right, so, now recognize the moment. Don't try to shoot a half court shot. There you go, Wemby. Oh.
So yeah, it's just until basketball's the focus. Oh, Kyrie.
All right, Kyrie lob to himself. That's cool. But yeah, nutmeg. All right, now we're getting at least some like highlight plays. It's the worst is when it's just literally a layup line. It's like, all right, no one's having fun. When you're doing between the legs passes, at least it's a little more exciting, Some energy. The crowd is like oohing and ahhing. That's exciting. But when it's just a layup line, it's very boring. Yeah, the player said, let's go home and let's no more defense. Everyone just do your coolest pass and get a layup or a dunk. At least that's better than walking to the rim. James Harden, step back, vintage.
Maybe the Rising Stars game was the best game of All-Star Weekend. There was some defense there, a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, people don't want. I think like the defense conversation gets a little like conflated. Like nobody actually wants defense. What they want is like, if there's no resistance, then there's nothing's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need someone to play I don't need someone to play a Coro level defense, like the greatest defender on the planet. just offer a little resistance. Otherwise, like what good is Kyrie if no one's biting on his dribble moves? Like here we go, Wemby bites just a little bit, and you get a good highlight out of it. It didn't go in, but he might have. My stream skipped a bit, honestly. Like you only get that if Wemby actually puts in a little bit of effort.
Who is that to?
I don't know. All right, 4 points away.
I would love to know the actual running time of like basketball. It has to be like 28 minutes.
I know. Yeah, I
like
need
literally.
to know. It's the games have gone so quick.
Is Donovan Mitchell the worst All-Star player you've seen?
Like, why has he played like this entire game too?
And he's like just hijacking possessions, taking bad shots.
Ready to go home. He's ready to go home. Sorry, Steph's gonna win MVP in San Francisco. Wow, who saw that coming? Boo. This is all to stop Mitchell Darius Garland from taking over the NBA.
You know what? I haven't taken enough bad jumpers yet. Let me take one more.
He really did come out just firing.
Gotta do the grades. Give him an F. Like this is bad.
Just go all in on trashing Donovan Mitchell's performance.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? They call the 8-second violation on him.
I like it. You gotta have respect for the game. No.
It's true.
Sorry,
he said this is still, we're still keeping the integrity in basketball here.
No one is above the law in basketball. I mean, people are above the law in real life, but not basketball.
All right, if Team Chuck pulls off this comeback, I will say the All-Star game is officially back, but only if they pull off the comeback.
Well, do you
got to go on a 17-0 run.
Maroon, Donovan Mitchell for that to happen.
Yes. Don't let Donovan touch the ball.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow.
How exciting for the end. It's just Sengun gets backdoor cut for an open dunk.
At least the All-Star game in Cleveland was pretty good.
It honestly was. Because that was the 75th season. So we had all the those breaks for the breaks in the game were actually exciting because it's like, oh, we're honoring literally the 75 greatest basketball players ever. This one was like, hey, Kevin Hart, do you have any more comedy for us? Can you another bit, Mr. Beast, maybe a logo shot, So Cleveland definitely cleared.
Do I like basketball anymore? That's something I'm going to think about for the next 3 days.
Yeah, we got a lot of time to ponder.
Well, how many guests did you end up having? 5?
See, we had Mikey, Quincy, Zach, and then Carter and Luca. So yeah, we ended up having 5. Bob, unfortunately, like I said, everyone go harass Bob. Let him know.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, good stream, Tony. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. 6. 6. You're the special guest. You're the grand finale.
I don't know if I can be a guest, but
he's technically he is the host. He is the director here.
Many are saying this. I'm glad to come because I know that the chat really wanted to see me. So
he's the emperor.
Maybe.
It's a cameo from Jackson. Yeah. I mean, listen, this was a super long, drawn out All-Star Sunday, but the chat made it a lot of fun. All the guests that we had made it fun. It was a really good stream regardless. So honestly, thank you guys. This was so much fun. I can't wait. We get some days off. I won't see you guys for a while. I'm going to miss you, chat. I'm going to miss Jackson. I might end up seeing him because we might record a pod at some point, but I'm going to miss the chat. So we will see you later this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, I think. So thank you guys for tuning in for the first half of the season. Let's end the season strong.
Now?
Oh my God. They said we're not done yet.
This is insane.
Oh, they're going to do the MVP, but honestly, I think I'm ready to go. I don't care when. It's going to be Steph. It's going to be Steph. So we're going to end the stream here, guys. Again, make sure you're checking out Fear the Sword, following us on Twitter, listen to the Junkyard Pod, do it all. Thank you guys. Have a great night and a good week, and we'll see you later.